Today I'm going to make some stuffed pepper soup. It's just a deconstructed, easier version than stuffing some peppers. Some little bit of olive oil. I usually don't use oil when I brown ground meat, but in this case I'm going to because we're going to add a couple other things into the ground meat. And that was, I think, a 2-pound pack. So this is about how much I'm using. And I'm going to get it chopped up. And then we're going to add about 2 onions. I do have them chopped, not minced. They're not too big and not too little. And we'll get that going, cooking. Boy, this smells good already. And then I had 2 smaller green peppers, and they really weren't perfect. They were getting a little limp looking, but believe me, they'll be good. Yeah, like this. So I wanted to show you, I'm not going to drain the fat off this time when usually you've seen me do that. Here's a little quick tip. Instead of using the sharp side of your knife, use the dull side if you have to scrape your board. Now this is just garlic from a jar, and that was a regular teaspoon from the drawer. I just added that extra. And there's choices of tomatoes, diced, crushed. I have some of these grape tomatoes, but I had a whole bunch more from the store, so I figured I'd use those in lieu of the diced canned tomatoes, but we'll see. I have options to change my mind, right? The option. I'm going to break up with the back of this big spoon all of the larger pieces of the ground meat and make it truly ground. I don't want big pieces in this case, like I might like it in chili or something different, but I really want it broken up for the soup. Now it's time for the crushed tomato. This is Aldi brand. I like it just fine. There's other brands that I have as favorites, but this is the Aldi brand, and don't worry, I'll get the rest of that out of the can, waste not, want not. I did opt to try, now again, I can add in the diced canned tomatoes, but this is seeds and skin and everything, but it will break down in this soup just fine and give it lots of flavor. Next, I have a little beef bouillon. Use which kind you like. I like the better than. Again, that was just a regular teaspoon from the drawer, and it will, incorporate itself just fine as I start stirring. And some water, some cold water I'm adding in. Now, how much? This depends because I know I'm going to add rice. So, and this is going to, with the rice in it, is it going to be too thin or too thick? I'm worried about it being too thick. And because I know this soup is going to cook down just a little bit, like your tomato sauce does in spaghetti sauce, I added another glug of water in there. And then we will cook this on. My stove has pretty high BTUs. Yours might be different, but on low. Instead of salt, I'm going to use a little shaker of cheese. What do you know? This kind of cheese is a little bit salty. And again, I'm going to have this set on my number. Here, they go, 0 to 10, but I'm going to put mine at this and then just keep stirring it once in a while. And make sure you stir the cheese in. I put my lid on, like so it's a jar, like just, almost all the way, but not all the way. And then for my rice, we chose jasmine rice, my favorite. I just like to make sure it's done, not just the bubbles, but you look at the bottom. And then later, we will add it to our soup. I don't want to add it too early. It'll suck up all the broth.
Okay, I think it's just the right ratio. See how it thickened up? It smells really good. This is a little bit colder now, but so no steam's coming off of it. And you can add a little bit to your liking of this. Stuffed pepper soup. Looks good.